It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview USA American speed skater Kelly Gunther. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Brandon, for having me on the show today.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to be a professional speed skater?
Absolutely. I started at 6 years old. It was during the 1994 Winter Olympics. And I always say, how funny is it now that it's kind of come back full circle because we just watched Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics. And as the 1994 were actually taking place in Nagano, Japan as well. So I knew at that 6-year-old, I wanted to be on the exact same stage as they were. Granted, I may have not known what the Olympic rings meant and exactly what they stood for at 6 years old, but I knew I wanted to be at that stage and that elite level. And that has just really taken me throughout my journey.
What was it like competing in the 2014 Winter Olympics?
It was actually a dream come true to be able to step on the ice for the very first time and, remember watching as that 6-year-old little girl and having that, image kind of still play in your head of, watching the figure skaters, compete in front of this auditorium. And, now I get to do the same exact thing. It was just so surreal and literally a dream come true.
Can you talk about, of course, how you knew you wanted to go from figure skating to speed skating?
hmm I was actually a little too fast for figure skating, and that necessarily means that I couldn't hear the beat of it. Was, I just loved going fast. And so when you can't hear the beat of the music, also, it's a little bit of a problem in figure skating. So then I got introduced to speed skating. And well, that was really kind of simple because then I did just get to go fast and turn left. So it was something that I kind of a little bit faster just because figure skating didn't work out. So for me.
Of course, with speed skating, can you talk about what you do on the game day?
hmm So race day is pretty cut and dry. We typically race 2 races. We get there. Races always start at 9 a.m. So that means we're always there at the track at usually 7:15. You warm up for about 20 minutes off ice. So running, jogging, some dry land. And then you have on ice warm up. So then on ice, you get about 30 minutes or so, or however long you have your routine down. You typically do the same routine over and over, never changes. And then you get off ice, they Zamboni, and then you have about 30 minutes before the races start. And then you typically go back up to the ice and then prepare for your races ahead.
What was it like competing in the 2014 and 16 Olympic trials?
It was pretty amazing to be able to compete at the Olympic trials and, just to compete in front of an audience and always show of all the hard work that you did and be able to put in and show everybody, you're skating for the love that you love and the passion that you do it for.
What was it like in 2011 to 2012 winning the world championship?
hmm it was really remarkable to even make the team again after just coming off of an injury. So it was really neat to be on the World Cup team and be able to travel and even place in the B division. It was really neat to know that my hard work from all of rehab, kind of came back full circle to be able to get to that level again.
Of course, as you talked about rehabbing, what was it like to prepare for it once you rehabbed to win the national championship?
So rehabbing took about 2 years. My first summer, I lived in Colorado Springs for about 6 months. Ever since I was at 6 year old little girl, I had never been off my skates. I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I really took my rehab very serious. I did rehab every single day, twice a day, to be able to get my foot and ankle to be able to move and mobilize again, because we had no idea what it was ever going to be, let alone get my foot back into a skate. So to be able to get my foot back into a skate after so many months and days of sweat, tears, and laughter, we were finally able to do that. So to be able to go back and skate the national championships was pretty neat.
What was the 2014 Olympic trials like?
It was more so exciting for me. Just 4 years prior, I had no idea if I was ever going to be able to skate again after my accident. So to be able to go to the starting line and just have the gun go off was something that I was so anxious and just more so prepared for. And I had fun those 4 years leading up to the 2014 trials. So I went when the gun went off, it was just able to have fun with it.
During the 2014-2015 season, what was it like being the long team for the Cup?
I took some time off to really kind of decompress after 2014. You're in such a high of emotions, and then to be able to come back down. And so I just took some time and stepped away. And then going back to 2015, it was it was fun going back because we knew we were preparing for another 4 years, but we had a long road ahead of us. So it was kind of neat to kind of lay low for a little bit and, keep training.
Can you talk about, of course, how it feels to have Olympian behind your name?
It's pretty special. It's not, to me, a entitlement. It's just it's just there. But it just shows how much what you put in and what you work for to be able to get to where you want to get to have that. So
What was it like this year preparing for the Olympics in previous years?
mm-hmm. I was older. My body was kind of falling apart leading up to the 2018 last Winter Olympics. So for me, it was a lot of more strain on my body, a lot more rehab to be able to get there. But it was just like any other Olympic games. You prepare, you get ready, and you put your best game out there to go to the starting line.
What are some of your game day routines and rituals like?
They're pretty the same every day. The sequence is the same. We train 11 months of the 12, so we only have 1 month off. And then in the summer, we do all kinds of bike racing, bike training, weightlifting. We play hockey to feel the ice still on our feet, because long trek, they actually take out March up until August typically. So they'll take that out and then to be able to put it back in. So yeah.
What is some of your favorite memories and moments in this previous Olympics and other Olympics?
Other Olympics, it's just really watching opening ceremonies for me. I love seeing the athletes make their dreams come true. I love watching even Olympic trials, when they realize that they did make the team, how exciting that is. And knowing that, they get to live their dream out is so cool to see. And then just watching the Olympics in general for myself is just, previous, getting to walk the opening ceremonies and, live that dream come true.
What was it like for you to put on the jersey and have the Olympic rings on it, along with the word USA on it?
It's everything, and it feels like everything. I mean, it feels like you're carrying the United States on the back of your back. I mean, because essentially you are. So to be able to represent our country that we love and stand for so much is really, really special. And it's such an honor it is, at the end of the day, it is such an honor to be able to represent the United States of America and know that, we're proud to be an Americans and to be able to show that when we go to the starting line.
Of course, during the game, what is it like to, of course, get more speed to beat some of your competitors?
hmm So in long track, it is very, cut and dry. You race the race, against the clock. So if you're on that day, I always say you're on that day, and you're off that day, you're off that day. So it really just comes down to, how you're feeling and how, your legs are going to show up that day. But to really make speed is usually typically in the corners. Each skater is different. I was more of a corner skater than I was a straightaway skater, but some skaters make their speed in the straightaways. So it all depends on just what you're better in. And, some are good in both. So they have to, really judge, where and how to make their speed and when to make their speed.
Of course, while you're in the game and stuff, what is it like when you know that, okay, you're running out of speed, so you got to pick it up some before so you can beat the next person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have your coaches on the back stretch of the straightaway. So they're actually on the ice with you and they hold a lap board up. So meaning they show your speed when you go by. So in your head, how much faster of a time that you got to get to. And, when your legs are dead and you're almost done, that's really you just got to dig deep and find, within it yourself that you can't slow down. You just got to keep getting faster and faster somehow in some way to get to that finish line.
What was it like whenever you got to win your first Olympic medal?
hmm I unfortunately didn't get to win an Olympic medal, which was okay with me. I was just more of my story and journey to be able to get to the Olympics and to be able to represent our country and, to be able to, sit back and tell and share my story through my journey without even a medal.
What advice would you give future females and even skaters that are looking to do speed skating?
Yeah. I love that question. So thank you for asking. My best advice is, to find your passion and to love it. And, speed skating is a thrill of the ride. And if you love to go fast, that is your sport. Because essentially you do just get to go fast and turn left. It's completely a mindset. So don't ever give up if your times, are good one day and then bad the other. But my best advice is, just keep going, keep believing in yourself. And no matter what, be the comeback kid that you are, because we've all been a kid once in our lives. And, you can just keep pushing to wherever you want to get to. So that's my little 2 cents and my best advice for any female or anyone who wants to speed skate.
What advice would you give somebody looking to compete in the Olympics, whether it's their first time or whether it's like their second or third time?
Yeah. Just keep going. The first Olympics is such a, emotional of a roller coaster. The second and the third, you kind of get some underneath your belt and you grow older, as those 4 years are in between. So, just keep taking care of your body. Just keep making sure you don't fall out of the love of the sport. Keep pushing yourself and knowing that's your prize. And, no matter what, don't give up. And, just make sure you keep listening to your body and your mind and just, keep going.
That's wonderful advice. What are some of your future plans in your career?
To be the best motivational speaker and inspiration speaker that I can be, to be able to help and share my story through my journey to everyone to be their own comeback kid, and no matter what obstacles that we face, that we can keep going, that we never give up, and to keep pushing ourselves, and to know that it's okay for a little different or whatever it is, that no matter what, we're going to be able to get to where we want to get to, because we can all be our comeback kid.
That's wonderful. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
hmm My best is Instagram. My handler is Kelly Gunther. If you see 2 R's, it's okay. It's still me. But I'm an open book. If you want to have any other questions or whatnot, please feel free to DM me. I'm pretty active over there. So just find me on Instagram, and I would love to reach out.
Thank you again, Kelly Gunther, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in figure speed skating.
Thank you so much again, Brandon, for having me. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Kelly Gunther, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.